If you're a 90s kid or a Power Rangers fan, you probably remember these things. Officially known as the Automorphin Power Rangers, their simple gimmick of morphing and unmorphing provides hours of fun. They were basically fidget spinners for millennials. While the original Flipheads are the most remembered, this trend of transforming figures has lasted as long as the Rangers themselves. But I can't talk about this topic alone. So thanks to the power of the morphing grid, I brought in a reinforcement.
Yo, what's up everybody, it's Este here, and today we'll be chatting about the Automorphin figures. Now, these figures are not just toy icons, they are pop culture icons as a whole. For being a simple toy that Bandai America created to sell the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers over in America, to being incorporated into Super Sentai, being used for multiple seasons and movies like the 2017 movie, and with Hasbro bringing it back, and they sell pins of Automorphin figures now. It's curious to think about why these figures are so special. Well, we're gonna talk about that.
I'm JulioCoolio, and this is the history of Automorphin Power Rangers. Flashback to 1994. As Power Rangers skyrocketed into an overnight sensation, Bandai was ready to release its new Season 2 merchandise. This included the Thunderzords, Monsters, and of course, the Automorphin Power Rangers. By tapping the belt buckle, your favorite Ranger would transform from an ordinary teenager with attitude to a powered-up warrior. These figures each came with a Blade Blaster and their respective weapons, the latter of which could form the Power Blaster just like in the show. They were also compatible with the Monsters and could even fit in a playset. While the figures would loosen and yellow over the years, the gimmick became a classic among kids and collectors. The first wave consisted of the 6 original Rangers: Jason, Zack, Billy, Trini, Kimberly, and Tommy. Bandai later made figures of Rocky, Adam, Aisha, and White Ranger Tommy. When the movie premiered, they released special metallic Rangers and the rare Gold Team Rules pack. While not an official Automorphin figure per se, Ninjor featured a head-flipping gimmick for his samurai transformation.
When the Rangers became
stronger than before
in 1996's Power Rangers Zeo, Bandai released figures for the brand new suits. With the button now moved to the back, the Rangers could morph from civilian mode to Ranger mode and back to civilian mode. Kat and Sonya finally got civilian heads too, while the guys had theirs recycled from older figures. In 1997, Bandai shifted to Triple Action Turbo Rangers. As the name implies, they can now fire their blaster and switch their chests while also flipping, all at the same time. The line also introduced Justin, the Blue Ranger, also the only Ranger so far to have an OnlyFans.
Girl, look at that body.
After dodging cancellation during 1998, the show continued with Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. Bandai took a new approach with the Automorphin figures, having them activated by a morpher and scaling them to 10 inches. They also excluded the females because what kind of guy likes pink, right? Hey, I like pink, what's up with that? The figures returned to 6 inches during Time Force, though again, only the guys were released. 2002's Power Rangers Wild Force would be a return to form with every Ranger getting a figure, even the villain Zenaku. This time though, these figures would morph with a spin instead of a flip. However, these would be the last Automorphin figures that Bandai America would produce for a whole decade. When Disney acquired the franchise, the Flipheads live on in other toys released under Bandai, such as remote control bikes and those creepy, weird overdrive drill figure things.
Eventually, Disney wanted to cancel the show since it was too expensive. Huh, yeah right. Despite no TV show, Bandai held the rights to continue the toys. They took the designs from Shinkenger and developed 3 Switch Morphin figures. These figures had a new design called Mega Mode, inspired by the 1995 movie. Ironically, the new civilian heads were those of Jason, Billy, and Tommy. To their luck, Saban bought back the franchise in mid-2010, and began production on Power Rangers Samurai. With the cockpit scenes being too Japanese, they refilmed them using the Mega Mode suits. As the show was rushed for a spring release, the final civilian heads were replaced with masked faces seen in the morphing sequence. They later added the Gold Ranger in the fall. Now, I remember hearing rumors of figures for Super Megaforce. They sadly never came to light, and looking back at articles of the time, it seems that these were either fake or I misread something. Like most 12-year-olds, I wasn't the smartest. But Bandai returned to the Automorphin trend with the 2017 Super Morphin figures, based on the reboot movie. It's still a better movie than Endgame, but no one's ready to have that discussion yet. These combine many assets from previous releases, the nostalgia of Mighty Morphin, the alternating chest plate of Turbo, and the spinning of Wild Force. As the franchise celebrated its 25th anniversary the next year, Bandai recreated the original Red, Pink, and Green Rangers, followed by Black and Blue. While both lines sought to release every Ranger from their respective teams, the remaining figures were scrapped in the void, as Bandai and Saban suddenly divorced.
After acquiring the brand, Hasbro obviously wanted to cash in on the nostalgia bait. They released new Mighty Morphin Power Ranger toys, including 12-inch Automorphin figures of Jason, Billy, and Kimberly. The new armor plates allow the helmet to engulf their heads rather than flip them inside. Now this year, Hasbro is going back to basics with the Retro Morphin figures. They're like the Bandai America figures with added articulation, show-accurate faces, and the removal of the infamous power coin inaccuracy, which was very, very annoying to die-hard fans of the show, including me, and probably Julio. Even Bandai Japan caught on to the Morphin craze. In 1994, they released Automorphin figures for Ninja Sentai Kamen Rider. These figures shared the same mold as their Mighty Morphin counterparts, with their civilian heads covered by ninja masks like in the show. Ninja Man, Ninjor's Japanese counterpart, was also part of the mix. They followed up the next year with O-Ranger figures. While identical to their later Zeo counterparts, these figures have the King Smasher and lack the Gold Ranger. Bandai Japan skipped out on Car Ranger, opting to make new figures for Mega Ranger instead. However, this trend ended with Ginga Man. Unlike Bandai America, Japan released all 5 figures in a scale similar to previous releases.
Overall, the Automorphin figures have a long and interesting history. They've been released in all sorts of sizes and gimmicks. Despite their simplicity and only owning a handful of them, I adore these figures. And if Bandai made a Lightning Collection type line for these where they released multiple Rangers, can I just hand in my entire wallet at once?
Personally, I love the Automorphin figures. The thing about those figures is that we don't really looking for articulation or paint details. We look at the Lightning Collection, Legacy Collection for stuff like that. For a cute little simple figure that we can see the civilian head and boom, it becomes a Ranger, the Automorphin figures are just so special. Actually, the first toy that I bought with my own money was a Samurai Automorphin figure. It was the Blue Ranger, Kevin. And I love that toy to death. It was so cool. I could be flipping the heads all day. It was literally so addicting. And that's why the toy is such a genius thing. So overall, Automorphin figures are definitely special. And I feel like they have a place not just in Power Rangers history, but in toy history as a whole.
So which of these figures is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and click the bell to stay updated on the latest videos. If you want more things Coolio, make sure to follow me on social media.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more of my content, go check me out. I am Este on YouTube. I post Power Ranger videos every single week. You can also check me out on Twitter, TheDonFuego. I'm also on Instagram, NotDonFuego. Thank you so much, Julio, for having me on. I love you guys so much, and I hope to see you guys again soon. All love.
Thanks again for joining us, buddy. Make sure you check out all of Este's stuff. Well, I'm Julio. Stay Coolio. And thanks for watching, everyone!